You're welcome to this module of the network training course, and today we'll be talking about how to develop a strategic plan. Now, depending on the size of the network, the leadership needs to decide how much time they want to allocate and how many people they want to include in the process. Clearly, the greater the participation and breadth of experience, the better, and that will help to offset the time and complexity that is introduced, which may result in diminishing returns when people don't know what to do. Now, striking the right balance here is important, but the crucial part is to define in advance the plan, the duration, the people included, and of course, the right facilitator to guide the process through to the conclusion required. Now, I'd want to suggest to you that at this point, you may want to revisit some key questions that we talked about in the last module. And these are questions that if you did not explore before, this is an opportunity to look at these questions with a broader team of people. Now, the questions are, what is the current purpose of the network? How do you currently see the network is doing? Okay. What are the main components of the work of the network? What is it focusing on? What change is the network trying to bring about? What change is the church and the church is trying to make? You might want to think about the distinctiveness of the different players, or even of the distinctiveness of the network. But what are you passionate about together as a group of people that is working together? Are there different programs that different people are doing? Okay, how do you strengthen the networks to deliver a collective one program together that we all want to focus on? How can we attract members into the network? Now, these are questions that we talked about last time that I would want to draw attention to, such that when you have a bigger team of people, now is the time to take the whole group through the same process, facilitated to capture the breadth of views, but also to converge answers to each question in an agreed summary that suitably weighs the priorities and the main points that you're working with. Together, the summary answers also should converge towards a particular theme of focus that becomes the spearhead of what the network does. The individual network members may be covering a whole number of topics relating to children, but the network has to prioritize its collective action in order to have deeper impact. There may also be many different components at work at different levels, but hopefully they can all fit together behind a focus that can easily be communicated and to help everyone understand the purpose of the network. Let's talk about developing a plan towards the strategic direction. We'll focus our attention to the questions questions 4 and 10, which you have on your screen now, that we need to answer in very specific ways. What change is the network trying to make for children? This could be individual, but it could also be collective. What change are you trying to make in the church or in your organization? This could be individual, but it could also be collective. What is distinctive about your network approach that is different from most of the other agencies in your city? Next question, what are you passionate about in what you do and the way you do it? What is in your heart? What are your dreams and prayerful considerations? What sort of programs over the next few years will deliver the change you want to make? How will you strengthen the network as you deliver the programs? How will you attract new members or participants to the network and include them in the programs? Now, these questions will be followed by a series of very specific actions or activities that have got to be delivered over time to comprehensively deliver the principle established. These new steps also need to dig deeper into the delivering of defined focus in a more deliberate and detailed way. The situational mapping previously done may now be insufficient to address the prime focus. New research may be necessary to identify the root causes of the problem, the current response, the latest thinking of experts, and the associate best practice. Okay? This all together answers the question of some scenario planning. What if? People skilled in theories of change may be able to help develop the linkages between different activities identified to form a clear logical process that can be seen to deliver the desired change. Again, this help may well be sought after the group has developed the initial thinking. Thinking through specific changes you would like to see in a specified period of time will help to develop indicators of success. These indicators will assist you to know what you are aiming to do by working collaboratively with network members, and how to measure the results of your efforts along the journey. The planned activities should probably chart out the next 3 years in sufficient detail to guide the thinking and the more detailed planning. As networks develop, this process gets easier as they have more experience and expertise to draw upon. But even in the beginnings of a plan, it's better to have one than not to have a plan, and to persevere as far as you can if you don't have one. To remind you again, networks are different from NGOs. NGOs are single organizations and can focus their strategic plans on the program and the impact on children. As networks, however, we are quite different, as we want to change the lives of children and join up the Christian response in our city. Our distinctive is the network platform with an average of, for example, 100 local churches and organizations in each city with a heart for children. Therefore, a big part of our strategic plan must be to build and nurture this network platform in order to deliver the impact through its collective actions. Okay. Now, at this point, we might want to think about a series of actions that we put in our 3-year period that lead to a change that we require. Consequently, a strategic plan will also have implications on the network coordination. It is important to consider how, as the internal organization, you need to change to deliver this strategic plan, and in a more deliberate way compared to what you have been doing. You might have to ask a series of questions. For example, what needs to change? How will it be done? Who is going to do it? By when must it be done? What resources are needed to do it? This thinking should also be added to the plan. The next thing to do for us is to develop actions necessary for the coordination team or the leadership to deliver the strategy. Thank you very much. I'm hoping you can now develop your strategic plan.